My name is Esteban Apodaca. I've been at Angelo State University for 23 years in the art department. I teach basically ceramics, drawing, design, the fine crafts, jewelry, weaving, stained glass, basic stuff. Today I'm going to be throwing a few pieces for you. I'm centering the clay right now. It's a cone 10 stoneware clay, which literally means that we fire it to 381 degrees Fahrenheit in a gas kiln. And at the end we put it into reduction, which means we take all the oxygen away and starve the kiln for oxygen. It affects the glazes. I'm opening the kiln, the piece right now. I'm going to make you a bowl. Put it in the floor. Of course you can't see that part. It's all internal. This is called opening the mouth. The rim is getting a little weak, so I'm going to compress it. And this is the hard part. And that's beginning to pull it, throw it. Start at the very bottom, and I put equal pressure on my fingers, usually my long fingers, and I press in and pull up, and slowly come up to the piece of pottery. Centrifugal force keeps it going upward. I'll begin to push a little more on the inside to create that bowl. To me, this is very, very therapeutic. I can sit down and relax, literally relax, and throw objects on the wheel. The further I push, the more bowed it becomes. Again, the rim is becoming a little weak, so I'll again compress it. Pushing in with my thumb and my index finger with my left hand, and pushing down with my index finger with my right hand. Compress the rim. It's good to keep it moist, slippery. It's a good sized bowl. I'm going to take a rib now, my metal rib anyway, and do a little pushing on the inside only. Create a bigger belly on the bowl. Yeah. Press the bottom. Less likelihood of a crack. Get rid of all the excess water now that I'm almost done. And I will compress it with a chamois on the edge to really compress it and give it a nice rounded edge. Take this bowl, a simple bowl, and I can manipulate it and give it different appearances. I'm going to take this wooden ribbon, flare the edge of the bowl out a little bit. Just a little different. I can shape the rim. Here, I'll use this ruler instead. And we'll give this bowl sort of clover leaf. Or scalloped edge. See? Real simple.
Hi, my name is Marcelino. I'm an art major with a concentration in graphic design. I went to the ceramics symposium last year. I liked some of the work. It's a little bit different way of viewing things. I would like to see some other different stuff. I mean, it's all about learning. When I watch somebody else work, I just look at the differences, like how I make it and compare it to how they make it, just to see, because there's always a different way of approaching something and a problem. So that's what I focus on when I'm watching somebody else work. I think having this competition in this town is a good thing. We we need stuff like this just to get more people involved. And that's the main thing, is just get more people involved, let everybody know what's out there. Well, last year I focused on my throwing, and I liked throwing just because it was quick. And now I'm starting to see like the different aspects of it. A lot of things like hand building. Hand building is one of my main concerns this year, and just trying to improve on that. When I go look at other stuff, I try to look for something I've never seen, like even like small things. If the glaze work, like the detail, like I try to think of faster ways of doing it or how they did it, and just small things like that.
Let's see. During the exhibition, I'm looking forward to the different artists giving workshops, and um, I'm also looking forward to going out to the chicken farm and the big party afterwards. And I'm expecting to learn a lot from the artists that are coming in. I don't know who's going to be here yet, but it's going to be a good time. I had a good time last year. So last year I saw Stan Irvin alter teapots and vessels, and that was fun. And a woman named Bunny, I don't remember her last name, but she made forms out of old taxidermy heads and made them into bunny rabbits and cool stuff. I mean, they were really creepy bunny rabbits, and it was kind of neat. I like functional and non-functional art. I like to be able to use the things that I make and other people make, but I also like fun stuff that you just look at. I hang around museums. When I go into a museum, I like to see something that you don't see every day. I've been to a lot of museums that just have the same old thing, but I really like dark, moody, unique things. Art.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in with us today at RAM TV 6. This week it is Rodeo Week in San Angelo, and today we have soundman Josh Hilton with us. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
So tell us a little bit how you got started in rodeo.
My dad rode bulls, and my family, we were always rodeoing. And high school rodeoed and junior rodeoed and everything like that. And so just, it's been a passion. It's been my life as long as I can remember. So I love it.
Now, I've seen pictures of you team roping. What events did you work?
In high school, steer wrestled and calf roped and team roped, but calf roping was just too much work. Didn't like it. I loved steer wrestling, but just kind of got out of it, but I still loved to team rope. Loved to rope.
So after high school, you became friends with the Surveys, is that correct?
Well, I've been friends with the Survey boys for going on 20 years now. Sydney, Iowa, my hometown, has been a rodeo of Mike Surveys for over 40 years, and so the boys used to come with him, Binion and Chase, and we got to be friends and grew up around there. And then in the summers, I would go out to some of their rodeos. And so after high school, I really started going to more and more rodeos with them.
And Sydney takes her rodeo very seriously.
Yes, it's a town of 1,000 people. We've been Small Outdoor Rodeo of the Year in the PRCA. before, and we've been nominated multiple times. It seats 8,000 people, and for a town of 1,000 people, it's a way of life there.
So after, going with the Surveys, bouncing around rodeos and working with them, what made you decide to go into sound?
Well, in college, I actually did radio, and I've always been passionate about music, and every time we were at a party or something, I would always be the DJ, and so it's always been a thing with me. And I remember one day, Mike Servey and Binion had called me and asked if I wanted to do music production at some of their smaller rodeos. So Binion actually paid me out of his pocket to go to these smaller rodeos that maybe had a high school band or the announcer was doing the music. And so I did it, and that's kind of how I got my start.
And from there, you're going to Denver?
Yeah, from there,
Angela, Houston?
I went to Denver was my big break, and now music-wise, I go Denver. Just this winter, I went Denver, Rapid City, South Dakota, to Jackson, Mississippi, to here. But I go to Canada. I go to upstate New York, Orange County, California, South Texas. Like I said, all the way up to Canada, so it's kind of all over. Got some really great rodeos. Very blessed.
So working those big rodeos, Denver, Houston, you get to work with some of the industry's best. And Boyd Pohamus, Bob Tallman, and this week you're working with Keith Isley. What's that like?
Well, I tell you, I don't know where I would be without Boyd Pohamus.
Come on, give a little more Texas. Thank you. Scores will come in at 70. That's not enough to change the leaderboard.
I mean, the Surveys gave me the shot, but Boyd, when he puts his stamp of approval on it, or Bob Tallman, it's Bob got me into Canada. Those guys get me my business. It's when a committee asks who should we go with, they ask their announcer. So I mean, Randy Corley, Hadley Barrett, Wayne Brooks, Andy Stewart, all these great announcers, I'm getting to work with. It's pretty awesome. And then when you can rock an audience and have a great time, they remember that. So when somebody comes up to them and says, hey, we need to make a change, who can we go with? And when they throw your name out there, that's the biggest compliment you can get.
Now, to work with some of the clowns and the announcers, you kind of have to know, what they're like and what their jokes are going to be, and what kind of stuff behind the scenes do you get ready for to prep their music for them?
Well, like when Keith comes up, or Troy Learwell, or someone like that, or even Liesl Harris, one of the greats, that you meet. Every rodeo has a production meeting. 99% of them do. And you go over what's the opening, what's the closing, what's going to go on in between, the mutton bust and calf scramble, top to bottom, the whole show. So when it comes to the clown act, you kind of meet to the side or whatever, and you go over what parts and what kind of music they need, and most of them all carry either a CD or a external little hard drive or something that you can put the music on there. But the programs I use, I actually make a page for them. So rodeo to rodeo, I already have it, so you don't have to do that whole thing. So it's nice.
Hey, what happened here? Jose, what's going on, buddy?
I don't speak English.
Well, say something to me in Spanish.
Taco Bell?
Keith, is that you?
No.
Turn around and look at me. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You come out of here in a dime store sombrero, wearing a garage sale poncho, trying to impersonate. You probably wanted his money too, didn't you?
Yes, I would like to have his money.
Well, I'm telling you, you can't do what Jose Luis Garcia can do. You don't have the class it takes to do.
What did you just say?
I said you come out here dressed like that. You don't have the class. You're not dressed appropriately.
Hold it. How's class? Hold on. Just about forgot. the most important thing. Never leave home without them.
You want the money with one rope?
Yep.
Well, there's another rope down there. You hadn't even used it yet.
I thought that was to hang yourself in case the first one didn't work.
No, that rope is the bigger rope. It is for the most difficult trick of all. A trick so difficult they named it after the greatest state of all. It's called the Texas Skip.
I've been reading up on this stuff.
Yeah.
I seen the California skip one time.
The California Skip?
Yeah, no, okay. All right. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
But I need some different music.
Different music.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. That man's been watching too much television. That really was not what I had in mind.
What did you have in mind?
But can you have something a little bit more appropriate, please? Here we go. This is not Brokeback Mountain. We are in San Angelo, Texas. That's right. And when you're in San Angelo on a Friday night, we like to rock.
And rodeo isn't your old song and dance anymore. You're rocking it up there.
I don't play any country music during the rodeo. I love country music, obviously, but this day and age in rodeo, it is an action-packed. People want to have fun, and you think you go to a bar and Don't Stop Believing by Journey comes on. Every girl in there is going to scream that song. So we've actually incorporated it in.
Ladies, does every one of you know this song? We want to hear you sing it at the top of your lungs. You know it.
if Boyd, may come to me and say, hey, every girl knows this song, and, we may not plan it, but I know where he's going. So I start to play that song, and then you pull it down at a certain spot, and the crowd will sing. And but it's songs like Joan Jett, or any AC/DC song. Sweet Home Alabama. You can hit that song, and the crowd's going to go nuts. So
what's your favorite part?
My favorite part? Oh, wow.
What do you feel like really just gets you grooving?
What's funny is I love, as a rodeo fan, I love to watch horses buck. The buck and bareback riding is probably my favorite event. Everybody likes bull riding, but I think bareback riding is the best. But when I'm working, I like the timed events because they're slower for the most part, and you get more time to interact with the clown, the audience, your announcer, you. So that's where I get to work more. So I think I enjoy that more working.
Right.
That's probably what it'd be.
Well, I appreciate you being with us today, Josh.
Well, I thank you, Tara.
And doing our sound for San Angelo.
Yes. Very honored to be here. It's a great rodeo. And
how many years have you been here?
This is my third year. Third year here. So it's an outstanding rodeo, and there's a lot of guys doing what I do sitting at home this winter, and I will do tonight will be my 47th performance of the year already, so I'm pretty blessed.
Wow. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in with us today at Ram TV 6. Earlier in the week, we followed Cowboys in the slack competition and later in the progressive round. Stay tuned to hear what they had to say.
The San Angelo Rodeo hosted many world champions, including steer wrestler Jason Miller.
This guy's a rancher in Lance Creek, Wyoming. Runs hundreds of head of cattle. And a great athlete, too. World champion steer wrestler. You met our opening ceremonies. He won $94,000 in 54 seconds in Las Vegas, Bulldog. Finishing the top 3 in the world. Jason Miller. Come on, Tam.
Retired construction worker with that flag and just can't give it up. Just can't give it up.
Another world champion, Chad Masters, Jay Long. Yes!
Many NFR qualifiers chose to compete in San Angelo as well, and we were able to talk to a few of them.
Hello, my name's Gabe Ledoux. Didn't have a very good run today, but the good thing about rodeo, we come right back tomorrow and do it again. The horse belongs to Jason Miller out of Wyoming. First time really ride that horse this year, and working out pretty good so far. I've done good here in the past. It seems like I've always done good here. I've won it a couple years ago, and I always seem to place around. It's always been good to me. So we'll come right back in the morning. Slack starts at 8, so steer wrestling should start about 10:30, and hopefully it goes good.
My name is Kenny Harrell. I'm a PRCA team roper, healer. I've been roping and rodeoing my whole life. I bought my PRCA card when I turned 18 and moved to Kansas and started rodeoing. Used to live here in San Angelo, pretty much in and around here my whole life. My whole family's from around here. My mom lives here. I have a sister lives just north of here. My brother lives here. My dad lives 70 miles away. I have grandparents that live here, aunt. Pretty much this is kind of like a hometown rodeo for me here in San Angelo. The first 2 rounds went good. We've got 2 down clean. Have a chance to make the short go tomorrow if we do good tonight. It hasn't been wonderful, but it's been pretty good. We haven't just beat anybody up, but we've picked along and everywhere we've went. So it's about as good a start as I've had in a long time. I'm pretty excited about it. But going into the winter, you always want and hope to do good, and it's gone as better than any of my winters have gone before. Feels pretty good. My horse is Taz. He's Colonel Freckles and Hancock bred. He's 14 years old. He's won heel horse of the NFR, I think 2 or 3 times, maybe reserve AQHA Heel Horse of the Year. He's pretty vital for me. I need him in a bad way.
There they are. Garrett Tanazi, Kenny Dale Harrell. Hey, the last time I saw these two men rope together, it was at the national finals. They won 3 out of the first 5 rounds. Fruita, Colorado, with a cowboy from Brady, Texas. Kenny, hey, Skinny Kenny is from McCulloch County. That's right. Now, why he left there, I haven't a clue. I mean, it's Metropolis. Now he lives in Marshall, Texas. I mean, you get caught in traffic in Brady, Texas, something bad has gone wrong. Tanazi. 6 and 5, that's going to put him 19-2. 19-2 on 3 runs, and that's going to be probably in the middle of it somewhere.
I've made the short go a few times. I've never won this rodeo. This is one of my childhood dreams to do really well here. You know, I remember my parents bringing me up here when I was really little and watching it. And I mean, I know so many people here. I don't know. This truly is probably one of my all-time favorite rodeos. It's you've got everything. I mean, we rope 2 steers over there where the longer barrier and the times are slower and you have to make more runs, and then they move it in here and the times are faster and it's a smaller arena, and I mean, you just got a little bit of everything. It's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Sam Spreadborough. I'm from Australia originally. I come over here to go to college in Snyder. I've been over here for 10 years now, professionally rodeoing. I won the rookie in 03 in the PRCA. It was one of my favourite titles to win. It's a big deal. It means you're the first. It's your first year of professional competition. You're the highest money winning cowboy. In 2009, I was having a rough year. I'd won $700. I come here to San Angelo. I won the first round, and I ended up winning the short go as well. I 40% of the rodeo, and I won about $7,000 out of here. Had a good time that night.
So here's something to make some noise about. 2009, this guy won the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo. He's a past champion of your event. And you know where he's from? Australia. You know how he got to Texas? To go to school in Snyder. You know what he studied? English. How does an Aussie learn how to speak English in Snyder, Texas? Sam Spreadborough, former champion of the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo.